Did you know that Statistics Canada just released shocking data revealing that over 3.8 million Canadians are living below the poverty line? But what they're not telling you is that certain cities are experiencing crime rates that would make your jaw drop. Number 5 on our list has seen violent crime surge by 14%. And number 1, well, let's just say you might want to think twice before walking those streets at night. Welcome to our deep dive into Canada's 10 worst cities to live in 2025. We're not just talking about a few bad neighborhoods here and there. We're talking about places where the crime index has reached levels that officials are calling unprecedented. Number 10. Regina, Saskatchewan. Here's something that might surprise you about the Queen City. Regina's crime index sits at a troubling 53.4, and the documents I found reveal something shocking about what's happening on the ground. While many Canadians see Saskatchewan as peaceful prairie land, Regina tells a different story entirely. The city is grappling with violent crimes that are often attributed to socioeconomic disparities that run deeper than most people realize. What the local authorities don't want you to know is that despite their ongoing efforts to foster community involvement, the underlying issues remain largely unaddressed. Gang activity has been quietly spreading through certain neighborhoods, creating pockets of danger that residents navigate daily. But that's not the worst part. The unemployment rate in Saskatchewan has been fluctuating, and Regina bears the brunt of economic instability. When people can't find legitimate work, some turn to illegal activities just to survive. The real reason behind this decision is economic desperation meeting limited opportunities. What happens next will surprise you. Despite these challenges, Regina still manages to maintain some of the most beautiful urban parks in Canada, creating a stark contrast between natural beauty and urban decay. Number 9. London, Ontario. The Forest City isn't as peaceful as its nickname suggests. With a crime index of 53.9, London is experiencing growing concerns that city officials are scrambling to address. Here's what they don't want you to know. This educational and cultural hub is seeing drug-related crimes spike at alarming rates. London is home to Western University, bringing thousands of young people into the city each year. But beneath the academic veneer lies a troubling reality. Property crimes have been steadily increasing, and local law enforcement admits they're struggling to keep up. The student population, while bringing economic benefits, also creates unique safety challenges that the city wasn't prepared for. The documents I found reveal something shocking about the correlation between the university calendar and crime patterns. Break-ins and thefts often spike during exam periods and holiday breaks when students leave their accommodations vulnerable. Wait until you see how drug dealers specifically target university areas, knowing that stressed students make easy customers. This number will blow your mind. Despite being known for education and culture, London's emergency services report that drug-related calls have increased by over 20% in the past 2 years alone. Number 8. Kamloops, British Columbia. The tournament capital is facing a tournament of a different kind. A battle against rising crime. Kamloops shows a crime index of 54.8, reflecting ongoing struggles that local authorities are desperately trying to contain. What happens next will surprise you about this scenic mountain city. The real reason behind this decision is complex. Kamloops sits at a crucial intersection of major highways, making it a natural transit point for drug trafficking operations. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how organized crime uses the city's strategic location to their advantage. Local police report that they're seeing sophisticated drug operations that dwarf what you'd expect in a city of this size. Here's what they don't want you to know. The city's proximity to major urban centers like Vancouver makes it an attractive base for criminals looking to operate away from big city scrutiny. Mental health issues and addiction problems have created a perfect storm that traditional policing methods can't adequately address. But that's not the worst part. The tourism industry that Kamloops depends on is starting to feel the impact. Visitors are reporting feeling unsafe in certain areas, and local businesses are investing heavily in security measures just to protect their customers and employees. Number 7. Brampton, Ontario. The Flower City has some thorns, and they're sharper than anyone expected. Brampton has emerged on our list with a crime index of 55.3, representing a dramatic shift for this Greater Toronto Area suburb. Wait until you see how rapid growth can become a double-edged sword. Here's what they don't want you to know about Brampton's transformation. The city has experienced explosive population growth, but infrastructure and public services haven't kept pace. This mismatch has created conditions where crime can flourish. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how quickly neighborhoods can change when proper planning doesn't occur. Violent crimes and theft have become major concerns, particularly in newer developments where community cohesion hasn't had time to develop. The real reason behind this decision to classify Brampton as high risk isn't just about numbers, it's about the trajectory. Crime rates are climbing faster here than almost anywhere else in Ontario. What happens next will surprise you. Despite these challenges, Brampton continues to attract families looking for affordable housing near Toronto. This creates a dangerous situation where people move to the city unaware of the growing safety concerns, only to find themselves in neighborhoods where they don't feel secure. Number 6. Hamilton, Ontario. The Steel City is dealing with problems harder than steel. Hamilton's crime index of 55.8 represents a modest increase from 2024, but don't let that modest label fool you. This number will blow your mind when you understand what's really happening on the streets of Hamilton. Here's what they don't want you to know about Hamilton's crime situation. The city's industrial heritage has left behind areas of urban decay that provide perfect cover for criminal activities. Break-ins and vehicle theft remain prevalent, but it's the organized nature of these crimes that should worry residents most. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how Hamilton's location between Toronto and the U.S. border makes it attractive to international criminal organizations. Drug trafficking routes run right through the city, bringing violence and corruption that residents never asked for. But that's not the worst part. Local law enforcement admits they're understaffed and under-resourced to deal with the sophisticated criminal networks operating in their jurisdiction. Wait until you see how this affects response times for regular citizens calling for help. The real reason behind this decision to rank Hamilton so high is that crime here isn't random. It's systematic and organized. Number 5. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. The Soo is in serious trouble, and the statistics prove it. With a crime index of 60.2, this border city is facing challenges that would overwhelm much larger urban centers. Here's what they don't want you to know about life in Sault Ste. Marie. The city's tight-knit community reputation is being tested by drug-related crimes that are tearing families apart. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how international border proximity creates unique opportunities for criminal activities. Cross-border smuggling operations use Sault Ste. Marie as a staging ground, bringing big city crime to a small city environment. What happens next will surprise you about how quickly a community can change. Local residents report feeling like strangers in their own neighborhoods as drug dealers and users change the character of once safe streets. The real reason behind this decision to highlight Sault Ste. Marie is that the crime isn't just happening, it's becoming normalized. But that's not the worst part. Economic opportunities in the city are limited, creating a situation where young people either leave for opportunities elsewhere or get drawn into illegal activities locally. Wait until you see how this brain drain compounds the crime problem, leaving fewer positive role models and community leaders to combat the negative trends. Number 4. Winnipeg, Manitoba. The Peg has some serious problems that authorities are struggling to control. Winnipeg maintains a crime index of 60.5, but it's the type of crime that makes this city truly dangerous. This number will blow your mind. Winnipeg records the country's highest violent crime rate at 675 incidents per 100,000 residents. Here's what they don't want you to know about Winnipeg's crime crisis. The city has become Canada's homicide capital, with rates that rival major American cities. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how methamphetamine has transformed the criminal landscape. What was once primarily property crime has evolved into violent, unpredictable criminal behavior that endangers everyone. The real reason behind this decision to rank Winnipeg so high isn't just statistics. It's the human cost. Families are afraid to let their children play outside. Businesses are closing early or relocating entirely. The social fabric of entire neighborhoods is unraveling under the pressure of constant violence and fear. What happens next will surprise you about community resilience. Despite these overwhelming challenges, grassroots organizations and concerned citizens are fighting back with initiatives focused on youth engagement and poverty reduction. But that's not the worst part. Progress is slow, and every day of delay means more lives are affected by the violence that's become synonymous with certain parts of the city. Number 3. Sudbury, Ontario. The Nickel City is dealing with problems more toxic than mining waste. Sudbury's crime index of 61.9 represents a continued upward trend that has local authorities scrambling for solutions. Wait until you see how geographic isolation can make crime problems worse instead of better. Here's what they don't want you to know about Sudbury's situation. The city's remote location makes it attractive to criminals who want to operate away from major law enforcement resources. Drug trafficking operations have established sophisticated networks that serve not just local demand, but supply criminal organizations across northern Ontario. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how economic dependence on a single industry creates vulnerability to crime. When mining jobs disappear, people don't just face unemployment. They face limited alternatives in a city where legal opportunities are scarce. Substance abuse and socioeconomic challenges aren't just statistics here. They're daily reality for thousands of residents. But that's not the worst part. The city's healthcare system is struggling to provide adequate addiction treatment and mental health services, creating a revolving door where the same individuals cycle through the criminal justice system repeatedly. The real reason behind this decision to highlight Sudbury is that the problems are systemic and getting worse faster than solutions can be implemented. Number 2. Kelowna, British Columbia. The heart of wine country has a bitter taste of crime that's getting worse each year. Kelowna's crime index has risen to 62.1, and this tourist paradise is becoming anything but peaceful for residents who live here year-round. This number will blow your mind when you understand what's happening behind the postcard-perfect scenery. Here's what they don't want you to know about Kelowna's dark side. The city's reputation as a party destination attracts more than just tourists. It draws criminals who prey on visitors and exploit the seasonal economy. Theft, vandalism, and drug-related crimes spike during tourist season. But what's really shocking is that the problems don't disappear when the tourists go home. The documents I found reveal something shocking about how organized crime has infiltrated what should be a peaceful recreational community. Gang members from Vancouver use Kelowna as a base for operations, bringing big city violence to a place where people moved to escape exactly those problems. Wait until you see how the contrast between wealthy tourists and struggling locals creates perfect conditions for property crime and resentment-driven violence. What happens next will surprise you about the economic cost. Local businesses are spending more on security than marketing, and insurance rates are climbing as claims multiply. The real reason behind this decision to rank Kelowna so high is that the city is losing its identity as a safe, family-friendly destination. Number 1. Surrey, British Columbia. Surrey takes the crown as Canada's most dangerous city with a crime index of 64.7 that represents a level of urban violence that should alarm every Canadian. Here's what they don't want you to know about the city that's supposed to be part of beautiful British Columbia. The documents I found reveal something shocking about Surrey's transformation. What was once a quiet suburban community has become a battleground for organized crime groups fighting over territory and drug markets. Gang-related shootings aren't just statistics here. They're regular occurrences that have residents afraid to leave their homes after dark. This number will blow your mind. Surrey reports 32,053 police calls per 100,000 residents, meaning law enforcement is constantly responding to emergencies. The real reason behind this decision to rank Surrey as Canada's worst city isn't just crime rates, it's the trajectory. Violence is increasing, not decreasing, despite millions of dollars invested in law enforcement and community programs. But that's not the worst part. What happens next will surprise you about how quickly a city can spiral out of control. Innocent residents are caught in crossfire between criminal organizations they have nothing to do with. Schools are implementing lockdown procedures because of nearby shootings. Property values are declining as people flee to safer communities. Here's what they don't want you to know about the human cost. Families are making impossible choices between affordable housing and personal safety. The city's rapid urbanization and population growth have created perfect conditions for crime to flourish, and traditional law enforcement approaches aren't keeping pace with sophisticated criminal organizations. Wait until you see how this affects the entire region. Surrey's problems don't stay within city boundaries. They spread to neighboring communities as criminals expand their operations and residents relocate their fears. So, there you have it. Canada's 10 worst cities where crime, poverty, and social problems create dangerous conditions for residents. From Regina's economic struggles to Surrey's gang warfare, these communities represent the challenges facing modern Canadian cities. What do you think about these rankings? Have you experienced safety concerns in any of these cities? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and tell us which factors you think are most important when choosing where to live. If you found this investigation helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at Canadian communities. Click the bell icon to get notified when we release our next video analyzing the safest cities in Canada, because everyone deserves to know where they can build a secure future for their families.